Okay, part two. The second thing, though, is you have to look at your communication when you're talking to people, when you're talking to coworkers, when you're talking to loved ones, when you're talking to people that you're in a relationship with. Because you have to be very aware of the fact that oftentimes when people are talking to you, when they're saying things to you, you're not hearing them. You're not hearing the words they say. You're hearing what you think they say, right? We all do this, unless you're aware of it, right? Like your boss can come up to you and say, do you have that report I asked for? Now, what did they really say? They said, do you have that report I asked for? But what'd you hear? Did you hear, what's taking you so long? Why are you lazy? God, I can't believe I'm having to ask you this again. And did you make all these judgments about them because of that? This happens a lot in relationships where somebody can just say, hey honey, can you take out the trash? And how do you respond? Oh my God, stop nagging me, stop hassling me, get off my back, right? When in reality, what'd they ask? They only ask, can you take the trash out, right? So you have to look at yourself. All change starts with you. Anytime you want to adapt your relationship, it starts with you, right? I'm not saying that it's all your fault. I'm not saying that you're wrong. It doesn't really matter who's wrong, okay? But you have to be the bigger person and step up and be the one to change first. Because people get caught in this like test of wills. I won't apologize. I won't change. I won't compromise. And that's fine if you want to either be stuck in a messed up relationship or if you want to be alone. That's cool. It's like I posted a quote the other day by Albert Camus. The need to be right is the sign of a vulgar mind. What Camus is talking about is that if you can't back down, if you can't accept another person's position, if you can't, compromise and maybe sometime let somebody else win, then that's your shortcoming. It's not a matter of you being able to dominate and brow people and force people to do the things you want and micromanage and be a control freak. You just can't. Well, you can, but you can't do that and be happy at the same time. Because the people around you aren't going to be happy. And you're always going to be worried that they're going to get away from you and that you're going to lose control, right? So let go of it. Just relax. Trust yourself. Trust other people, okay? Now sometimes, yes, you might trust another person and they might violate your trust. They might. You might tell somebody a secret and they turn and tell somebody else. You might count on somebody to do something for you and they'll let you down. It happens. You got a choice. Forgive that person? Well, you got to forgive that person no matter what. Because, like I've said a million times, forgiving them is for you, not for them. But then after that, are you going to keep them in your life or not? Did this person make a harmless mistake? Or are they an untrustworthy person? In which case, maybe you just don't need them anymore. That's fine. You can do that. It's better to be able to have people come and go and let go of them as necessary than always spend your life with these walls up. Okay? So, if you're feeling like there's something that you want to say, like I was saying before, if you really need to be like, why don't you let me, why don't you let me, why don't you let me, explain it to me, especially with relationships that are over. I hear this. I just want to know why. Why won't he tell me why? Why won't she tell me why? You know what? Why does not matter. Who's this calling me? Oh, I'll call him back. Why does not matter. There's nothing they're going to tell you that's going to make it okay. They're not going to say, well, I left you because you got fat. That's not going to make you feel any better. But they're not going to say, I left you because you complained too much. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. There is no why. There is no why. You make up your own why. It doesn't matter. If the relationship is over and this person is gone, let them go. Let them go. Okay? If you work at it and it just doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. It's fine. It happens every day. It's fine. Okay? So you then have to step back from your fear, step back from your stress, step back from your tension, step back from your anxiety, and look at what it is that you're really communicating and what you're really saying when you talk to people. Because the measure of communication, the measure of talking, the measure of how effective you are at it is the response you get. Okay? I think you've caught on to the fact that I can probably persuade most anyone to do most anything. Okay? Because I know how to change and adapt my message to them. right? And that's how you get results in this life. And that's what you need to do. And it's not that there's anything wrong with how you communicate. It's that you also need to listen. You also need to be aware of what's coming in. And you need to try as hard as you can to actually hear what's really being said. That's why I say all the time that it's like, well, if you're in a relationship with somebody who cheats on you, or is mean to you, or is abusive to you emotionally, or God forbid physically, that person does not love you. They don't love you, okay? Their actions are telling you. Like I said, words lie, actions tell the truth. Actions are communication also. The title of this episode is talking, but it's because it sounds more interesting than communication. But it's all communication. In fact, I don't know if you know this. When you communicate with somebody, the words you use are only 7% of the message, okay? When you talk about communication, body language is 55% of the message. Like, I'll give you an example. If I say, hey, how are you? Or, hey, how are you? I've just communicated two very different things, okay? So over half of communication is body language. If you've sent me a picture of somebody and I was able to look at a couple pictures of them and tell you everything about them, that's why. Because I know body language, I know posture, I know smiles and how they position themselves in a photograph, and it tells me everything, okay? Now, 38% of communication is tone and inflection. How you say what you say. Again, if I say, you're beautiful and I love you, or if I say, you're beautiful and I love you, I've said two different things. Do you understand that? Now, I know for some of you that might, maybe English is your second language, it might be tough to pick up on this sometimes, but it's true in your language too. That's just human communication. That's just how it is. So you have to be aware of how you say things and how people are saying things to you and how it's being interpreted, because everybody takes in information and filters and deletes and distorts it, okay? For the most part, nobody sees the world as it is. We see the world like we are. Okay? That's why two people can be exposed to the exact same thing and have vastly different responses to it. Two people can get laid off from their job on the same day. One of them says, well, this is an opportunity for bigger and brighter things. And the other one says, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Okay? See, what's underneath all of this, and why I started talking about fear so early in all these videos and all the articles I've written about fear, is that's the undercurrent behind all of this. That's what really holds us back, is fear. Fear in all its forms. Fear is why you're afraid to talk to that person. Fear is why you're afraid to be honest. Fear is why you try and control and manipulate and micromanage everything, when you just have to let go. Relax. Just relax. Trust God, trust the universe, trust yourself, trust that everything is going to be fine. All you have to do is all you can do. Just stay in motion. If your relationship is on the rocks, sit your partner down and say, look, I know things have been tough between us right now. I know I've said and done some things I'm not proud of. You've said and done some things that you're not proud of. Let's just start from scratch. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's just start from scratch and see what they say. See what they say. If you're afraid to do that, then it means something is wrong in your relationship. If you're afraid to give this person the chance to tell you if they even want to be with you anymore, that's a problem. Okay? And besides, if you're afraid of what they might say, if you're afraid that they're going to say, well, I'm kind of over this and I'm ready to move on, then you already know you don't have a relationship. Why would you want to be with somebody who's just stuck with you? You don't want that. You deserve better than that. Okay? So that's why you need to be in partnership with people in your relationships, and partner with people in your friendships, at work, and all of these things. It's like when I talked about negativity and how to, be the life of the party and be everybody's favorite person. A part of that is because you make people feel better about themselves, okay? And you have to feel good about you before you can make other people feel good about themselves, all right? Now, I've done it again. I think I'm talking too long, so I'm going to wind this up. Like always, find me. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, YouTube, B. Dave Walters. I'm everywhere. Remember, my coaching and everything's on sale till the end of February. 50% off. I love you. PeaceLoveMoney.com. Okay, bye-bye.